Hi, welcome to The Identity. You're watching Hope Channel. My name is Samuel Maangi. I want to take this time to thank you for being with us through this whole episodes that we've been airing on The Identity as we seek to have an understanding and also as we seek to identify with Christ. Today, we'll be talking about fake friends. Yeah, talking about fake friends, and I'm sure there's that friend who looks weird or behaves weird or some particular way of some sort. Today we'll be discussing about the good friends and fake friends. On the panel today we have Priska Ngwenyi. She's a professional accountant. We also have John Hopkins. He is a student undertaking bachelor's in economics. And lastly today we have Agnes Maureen. She's a medical student at the University of Nairobi. Now, I encourage you to get in touch with us on our social media platforms regarding this topic. Our social media handles are going to be relayed on your screen. Please join in. If you have a question or comment, do post and we're surely going to get back to you. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You look amazing, as always.
You too.
Thank you so much. Now, is it true that we have fake friends, or that's just a name that we give to people who have offended us? Hopkins.
I believe we do have fake friends, and so many people have gone through that experience with fake friends, and perhaps even Jesus himself went through the same experience.
Amazing.
So who are we?
Who are we? Mortal man. We are prone to have fake friends. Now, is it easy to know these fake friends, Priska?
Generally, it's not easy to know fake friends because they camouflage themselves of coming with good intentions into your life. But apparently, they're the ones who are digging deeper into your spirit to easily destroy you. Yeah.
Now, Agnes, you are a laughing machine, I have to say. Okay, fine. Now, that has always been easy. It has always been the introduction that I have to give you. But then anyway, you're a happy soul. I mean, do you get fake friends? Or because I know with your laughter you have very many friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have fake friends too?
As at now, I can say I have friends, but I can't tell the difference. Honestly, when you get fake friends at first, you really can't tell. And I also think they also don't know they're fake friends. But then you come to distinguish them in times of hardship. I was telling him, you close your eyes, open them, and
Gone.
they're gone.
Gone.
No trace, no memory, no nothing. They never knew who you are. But yeah, I guess I'll know when the time comes. And yeah, but for now, just living in the moment with the friends I have. Yeah.
Now, let me come to you, Hopkins. You're in the University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
You have everything. University of Nairobi is like a bouquet. You have students from Kenya, from Tanzania, from all over the country. And also even within our country, we have different cultures. But can you single-handedly say that I can pick you as my friend because I think you're loyal? I can pick you because I think you're fake. Can you do that?
No, you can't. You can't. And as she said, for the first time, it's hard to tell who is fake and who is genuine. And that's why most of the time you just find yourself getting friends. Yeah, you're my friend, we are friends. And but then, as she said, in time of crisis, they reveal who they truly are. And that's the point where you wake up and realize, okay, I'm alone. Okay, I'm stuck up with this guy. Okay, so you're able to distinguish, okay, this was a genuine friend, and this was a fake one. Because they say that a true friend is revealed when a friend. There is a friend who knows your smiles and your laughter, but then there is one who knows your tears, and that's the one who matters a lot.
Does it, Priska, does it have to be during trials and tribulation? That's when friends are there. Because, some people like Agnes, they are sanguines. When you're going down low, they'll be like, okay, I think my sanguine is a motive of assistance right now. Let me just leave it to your friends who can deal with you when you are down. Then when you get back up, I'll be there for you.
I think ideally, during hard times is when you know the true character of someone. At the end of the day, during that time is when you'll know the person that is tried and tested. Yeah? You will know truly during happy times we are together. And even during these hard times, are we together? Yeah. So I think until you go through those hard times, during happy times, you'll have a lot of friends. many at times when you're having a party in this 21st century, you know, people will always come and enjoy the party. But lest when something hits you, a disease hits you hard, you'll know who your friends are then.
And I think also important to notice that you can also borrow from the story of the prodigal son. I mean, when he had it all,
Yeah.
he had them all.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, you should have done that.
Sure.
Yeah. When he had it all,
We see.
he had them all. You know, but then when things became tough, that's when he realized, by the way, people and I think this also can come out as one of the traits that when he lost all that he had, he lost everyone that he ever thought that he was important. But I want to bring you in. So does this mean that the good true friends will only be there when you're tried and tempted?
Okay, there's something you asked about friends being fake, and is it that they're actually fake, or is it that they've offended you and you feel they're fake? Sometimes I think we call some friends fake when they're not actually fake. Most of the time we think they are the problem when we are the problem. Because I mean, you have a character that can't be put up with. I'll get tired, and I'm human. Like, if I'm pushed to the limit and I feel as though you're draining me and that this relationship is toxic, I mean, I'll just
Bail out.
pack my stuff and be like, bye-bye, I'm so done with this. So I think we also need to look at ourselves and, you know, just ask yourself, is this, can I spend time with myself? Like, ukika peke yako, when you sit alone as nyoks, and like, do you enjoy your company, or you can't stand yourself, and so how do you expect other people to stand you? Excuse me. Oh, and to your question, you're asking, are good friends sticking in bad times?
Yeah.
Sometimes we also should understand when we're going through something, we shouldn't always expect people to be there. People are also struggling with other things. People are struggling with other things. Let's say God forbid I've lost a parent and someone else has been heartbroken. We're both struggling. I can't expect him or her to be there for me, you know, throughout. So I think there also should be an understanding, that people are all carrying different burdens, and we shouldn't expect too much. There's a saying that goes that too much expectations is the prerequisite of all disappointment. So when you set a high bar for your friends or for your loved ones and they fail to meet them, then you become disappointed, and then, you know, dub them fake friends. Yeah.
But then isn't it true that sometimes we fall in the same wagon of calling people fake friends, yet we are fake friends? Isn't it possible?
It is possible, very, very, very possible. And maybe just to like take us back, she talked about toxic friends. Maybe the difference between a toxic friend and a fake friend.
That's
Maybe
an
we'll answer it.
Who's a toxic friend and who's, you know, a fake friend?
I think a toxic friend is this person who is here, who intends to use you and dump you. Let me use the simple words that you will like to hear. Who will use you, who will use your resources, at the end of the day dump you with no benefit. But a fake friend is somebody who comes to you for a season and doesn't fulfill any purpose, and there he goes. I think,
Okay, that could be your definition.
That is my definition.
What do you think?
I'd say toxic is, there's a thin line, by the way, because you could say that all toxic friends are fake friends. I don't know, but I could say my definition of toxic is, say, this kind of people that just drain you. Like, you sit together and after you're done, you feel drained. You know, drained. Fake friends, on the other hand, I can't differentiate, but maybe to draw from what she said, people you're just in a bandwagon, you know, joyriding. And then when they leave, I don't know, people who don't add value, maybe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think also, just to add into this, as we grow up, as we grow older, probably you'll have a lot of friends in your 20s. But as you grow older into your 30s, into your 40s, you have very few good friends. Or
Few true friends.
yeah, thank you. Few true friends. As you grow up, you'll have a lot of fake friends. But as time goes
that's
by, as years go by, as you learn a lot of experiences, you will get few true friends to stand by you.
You know, there's something, let us try and borrow from Google. There's something that Google says about what a toxic person is. A toxic person is a JJ, that is a jealous, judgmental person. Jealous people are incredibly toxic because they have so much internal self-hate that they can't be happy for anyone around them.
Yes.
And typically, their jealousy comes out as a judgment, criticism, or gossip. According to them, according to them, everyone else is awful, uncool, or lacking in some way. What?
Yeah.
That's a lot, baby.
Yeah, that is toxic.
Now that sounds like toxic.
Yeah.
That sounds like toxic. But then let us go back to the conversation, and we'll be getting to this JJ person, and let's go back to the question on fake friends.
Possibility of you being a fake friend.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. You see, it gets to a point where you think you need help from someone, but actually they need help from you, and so you like feel like, okay, these people are not there when I needed them most. But then did you ask yourself like if they needed you that particular moment? And so like you see, you end up like saying this person is a fake friend, but actually maybe you didn't like fit into their shoe and realize what they were going through and how much maybe they needed you to be there. And so you term them as fake friends when actually you are very selfish, and actually you are the fake friend.
And interesting to notice that sometimes we have as you said, high expectations. Yet in the real sense, you're reflecting them to other people, yet you yourself can't meet them.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, and I think it's more of a call for us to have an introspection about our lives. You know?
If you're not true to yourself, then you cannot make a true friend.
Very true. If you're not true to yourself, you cannot make a true friend. In fact, you'll be the perfect fit of a fake friend. Please add voice to this as you continue, Priska.
I'm thinking of, if you don't, first and foremost, the Bible says, love thy neighbor as thou lovest yourself. The moment you're not able to love yourself well, the moment you're not able to take good care of yourself well, then you are a perfect example of a fake friend. Because if you're not able to take good care of yourself, can you be able to take good care of the needs of the other person that calls you a friend? No. So I think
that's amazing, and I think also the Bible goes on to give you an example of the Good Samaritan. You know, as much as we would not want to have good friends being there just in times of need, it's also key to notice that fake friends are the ones who are going to pass you by.
Yes.
You know, as much as because truthfully we all have different needs, we all have different wants and all this. But then, if you are real to somebody, you'll not be there. You'll not only be there in the highs, you'll be there in the lows. And you won't be there just because you want to prove to yourself you are a good friend. Because there's that other element.
You get tired.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
Get tired to pretend.
Trust me, yeah.
That is pretense of the highest order, as I could put it. You can't pretend for so long. Your character
Very
will
true.
have to be revealed after some time.
Yeah, the mask falls off eventually.
Yeah.
So that other element of proving to yourself. And I think there's this statistics which was running that a man cannot pretend for more than 6 months. A man cannot pretend more than 6 months. Well, some do.
Yeah.
Some do still have a PhD.
Is it men or the man is for both men and women?
Well,
It's men. It has to be men. It has to be men.
Not really.
Let's assume it's for both gender.
It has to be men.
But then going back to the whole conversation, let's leave the whole. According to the statistic, it was a man. Then it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But then let's go back to these standards that we put to people. Is it wrong to have standards? Because again, it's wrong just to pick anybody from the road and call them your friend.
Yeah,
Is it wrong to have standards? Hopkins.
It's not. For me, it's not. It's not wrong. Because, as you said, you can't just go pick someone. But then even as you said, these standards, you need to be realistic. You need to realize that these people are humans and that they can fall short of the standard that you've placed for them. Because even if for yourself you cannot like fit perfectly, I know the standards that we put for people, we ourselves cannot like fit perfectly into that. So why do you expect them to fit perfectly into it? Yeah. So that usually crashes everything. When you expect them to be perfect and yet ourselves we are not. But it's not bad to have standards.
It's not bad. Let's come to the church. Let's come to the church because we are all in different churches. We are attached to different youth groups. Are there fake friends in church? I want to believe these are saved people going to heaven. You know, we are all in the same journey. We are going to heaven. Are there fake people in the church? Fake friends in the church? Agi.
Let me ask you. Are there healthy or sick people in hospital?
Are there?
Healthy or sick people in hospital?
I'm happy that I'm not a medic. So
Okay, you're human. You've been to a hospital before. Majority of the people are sick.
Yeah.
Right. In the same way, when we're in church, we should also understand that no one is, we are all headed to heaven, of course. But then, these are people who are world sinners, right? And these are people who are looking for salvation or have it but are in the process of growing. So we shouldn't expect that much from them, in all honesty, because we are all lacking in some way. Yeah, but they're fake friends. I mean, Judas Iscariot, like, sorry Judas, wherever you are, for using you as an example, but Judas Iscariot was among the 12 disciples, and we are made to believe that they were, you know, in the company of Christ. I mean, that's heavenly atmosphere at its peak, you know, but Judas sort of survived until Jesus Christ's crucifixion. So yeah, in every society, in every platform, wherever, even he said he has only loyal friends. I think, even in his circle of loyal friends, there has to be a fake friend. Yeah.
Now, is it wrong if I say, Priska, that it's only time which will tell how true a friend is?
I think time is gonna tell. You're right. I mean, also just to go back, there is this saying that says, choose your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Or more of show me your friends and I'll tell you your character.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so, but the fact that from the kind of friends that you've chosen, your character is transformed. So if you don't choose your friends wisely, you know where your character goes.
Amazing, amazing. So that means there's a close relationship between the friends you keep and your character.
Yeah,
Hopkins.
Sure. True.
Very close in the sense that you can't.
Very. I read somewhere that you are an average of the 5 people that you spend most time with. Okay.
Shock on you.
Spend time with Agnes, then you'll find yourself laughing. But yeah,
I think I can only get spent with her one day in a week because I can't have that kind of laughter in my life, but which is very healthy. But
what are you trying to say?
But you see,
so it's a principle that is there even in the Bible that bad company corrupts good morals. So it's there. It's true in all its aspects.
Wow, amazing. So what will be that thought that you'd be sharing to that friend who's deemed as fake, or to the guy who has gone all out on, I'm going to cut out you because you're fake? Because we see this in WhatsApp status, in Facebook, people posting all this. Could this be an insecurity issue or expectation not to meet issue?
Now we are friends. You know, Nyoks expect you to dress this way when we're walking together. I don't want people asking me, who's that wearing like a tout or a street urchin. Yeah. So I think there's a difference between standards and expectations. And in all honesty, when you expect too much, you'll get disappointed.
Yeah, sure.
You will eventually you'll get disappointed, and also you're pushing your friend to act in a certain way. For example, when expect Hopkins to, I don't know, dress in a certain way, he may not be comfortable with dressing in that way.
He will not be himself.
Yeah, he has to act in a certain way so as to please me. He'll get tired and he'll leave, and then I'll call him a fake friend, you know. Yeah, so this thing is so complicated. I don't even know what to say, but yeah.
So but can you say that there's an association, or rather a relationship between the people that we deem fake friends and who we are?
Yeah, sure.
Could there be a relation, Priska?
I think there could be a relation between those fake friends and who we are. It depends on just the way she has said. Dr. Smile. The way she has said is, you know what makes us sometimes get not to know these fake friends? We put all our friends in one basket. But what you should know is you should have an inner circle of your friends, then you should have another outer circle of other friends. That is where the classification comes in, according to how I think.
Amazing. You know, somebody who's watching right now will be thinking, you want me to have best friends, then close friends? So you'll be wondering about that, but then you'll be getting to understand that and more about it after the break. See you then. Welcome back to The Identity. Thank you for tuning into Hope Channel. Now, before the break, we're talking about fake friends, and we already alluded to now what you're going to be discussing about having an inner circle. Is it healthy? Is it wrong to have best friends, best of the best friends, friends forever, friends from high school, close friends from... Is it wrong to have, Priska? Please, go on.
For me, I think it's good to have your circle, so that you know the people that you're going to expect. You should know the people that are going to build your character. Put them into your inner circle. The ones that are going to transform your character unto the Lord first. And number two, unto the way you should relate to society. That is your most inner circle. Then you should have other friends that come in. Whoever that you can share jokes and a few things here and there. Then you should have another bigger circle of, hi everyone, how you doing? Yeah.
Or you know, to some extent, that somewhat feels that there is a special treatment that these people have. Is that the case?
I don't think it's the case, but you should know you've already set your bar. You've already given yourself a standard of where you're supposed to grow. Yeah. So
it's not really about how you treat them. It's about how they impact your life.
Yes.
I don't know why these good friends who need to be in this circle, they all have to be so true to you. In the sense that when they see you going bad, they'll tell you, yo, you're going west, you're going south. And truthfully saying, are these people who you have so close going to be the people that you like because of what they're going to tell you? Huh? You are the one who has loyal friends. What do you think?
This is interesting. friends in the inner circle, and then those you just say hi. Are they still friends? Like, are they still friends?
The
Or we can,
acquaintances.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
we can.
we can call them acquaintances.
Okay, yeah. It makes it even better.
Well, but then probably it should be noted that just because you're an acquaintance doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? It's just that there's
We
some.
are maybe not that close. We haven't
Yeah.
come to that point where we can
Now,
really confide
now
in one
I would
another.
go to ask: are these people who are very close going to tell you what you like?
You see, you're being told that better are the kisses of what? Better are the is it no, what's that word? Rebukes. Better are the rebukes of a friend than the kisses of an enemy. So you see, the friend, if he or she is close, then definitely they want the best for you. And that's why when they see you doing the wrong thing, they won't just like pamper you and tell you, you're doing well. Keep on with it. No, they will definitely tell you, Sammy, you are doing the wrong thing. This is the wrong thing, because they want the best for you. Yeah. And so definitely, maybe they may not tell you what you like to hear, but then if they have the best interest, then they'll definitely tell you what's right.
And I think clearly this gives way to how we choose our friends, because some of us are too afraid to tell the truth, isn't it? Because sometimes you don't want to be told, oh, Sammy, you're doing a good job, good job. But then the real sense, yo, Sammy, there's something that, you know. And I think being young, sometimes, again, as you said, being young, we want to be told what we want to hear.
Yeah, sure.
But then when we grow older, we grow wiser, we realize what these guys are telling me, it's good, yes, but then it's there for the time. You know, it won't serve me for the long run.
Yeah, sure.
It's like when you're preparing for a race. Oh. I've not been an athlete, but then these are just things that we read, you know. That when you're preparing, you will not prepare in a short distance. If you're to go for a 10-kilometer run, you will not prepare with a 10-kilometer practice field. You go for longer so that you can get to test your stamina. And that's why we draw from what you say, that time will tell.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and then there's something that we should probably have an understanding. Does this mean that that good friends will always lead you to this good Christian experience, or there's some good friends who don't want the best for you in terms of spiritual growth? Agnes.
What I can say on that is, not all the friends we have are spiritual, so to speak. Some are just there. They'll be there for you in good times, in bad times. But even without their knowledge, they'll sort of be leading you away from God. For example, say you can't get pregnant.
Thank you for remembering that.
I don't want to use myself, so I'll use Priska. So say Priska gets pregnant. A good friend who cares about her and her reputation and hasn't left her because of the bad news will tell her, you know what, Priska, just get an abortion. It's fast, it's easy, it's reliable. In fact, I know someone. I even did it before, and I'm alive. And you know, she'll feel so supported at that time, because I mean, it's the fastest way of, you know, getting rid of everything. But what's the end of it? What's the end of it? It isn't good, you know. Right. Right. Oh yeah. So there are friends who are true friends, but they don't lead you to God. And I think it will be important to make that distinction, because sooner or later they're going to pull you down with them. Yeah, you just find yourself more and more wanting to be in their company and doing what they do. Which
does this mean that Hopkins, we are not supposed to have friends outside the church?
Thank you. I expected that. Yes, they may. Yes. What's our purpose? Like, for us reaching out to them, those who maybe they're not Christians, or maybe they haven't received the gospel and accepted it. Our main purpose of having them as friends is to be able to minister unto them and tell them of the good news, like of Christ and his second coming and him dying for us. But then, okay, let me just put this one before that one. When you become a friend to someone, you don't want to be a friend to him because you want to preach to them.
Thank you.
Like, Sammy, you don't know about Christianity and Christ and everything, so I come to you to be a friend just to win you to Christ, like to just bring you to my church or something.
And
then,
I think that's a pitfall that most of us young guys,
yeah.
you know, we want to be attached to some people because we think they need to hear.
They
Because you know, we create our own pulpits with our friendship, which shouldn't be the case.
Because Christ's method, like that's an interesting thing. Christ's method. Yeah, like he mingled with them, ministered to their needs, like he was a friend to them before he bids them follow me.
Yeah, sure.
And that ought to be also with us, that we ought to be friends with them, like we ought to take care of them, we ought to minister to their needs. When they need our support, we ought to be there for them. But then each and every time we do this, we need to like present Christ to them, so that if they do not end up accepting Christ, we don't like, now because you don't want to accept Christ, mina kuacha. You see, it's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. But then our caution is, immediately we finish our interaction with them, we need to run back to Christ and have a refill of grace.
Very true. And I think something that is key to note is that just because the person does not ascribe to your faith, doesn't mean you cannot have them as a friend.
Yeah.
It's good to have them as a friend, but then it's more of let's limit how they influence our lives.
Yeah, sure.
Because when we give them that free liberty and have them in the innermost circle of your friend, then that means there's a possibility that because he does something and he looks good in it, and because he's not keeping up with the faith that you are, you'll be more of like, if he's doing this and he's okay. I mean, you at times will be forced to compromise because of the friends that you have. And somebody will go and say, it is wrong to have these rings of friends, but I will also take you to Christ.
Yeah.
Christ had such kind of a ring of friends. I mean, let's remember when he was going to the Garden of Gethsemane. He told his disciples, sit here, pray for me. Then he took some, took them and told them, stay here, pray for me. Then he went, you know, and which that clearly depicts how, in fact, we're supposed to have the closest friend we're supposed to have. It's God.
God.
You know, it's Jesus, because that's the person who Jesus went to. And like, now, this is the moment that I need you. And I think this is why sometimes as youth we fall. Because we instead of putting God in that place, we bring Agnes and put him there. And when she falls short, you are a fake friend. You are a fake. So let us remember who gets to sit at that innermost seat. That who gets to sit on that, you know, that seat of whom we consult more. But then let us leave all this talk about fake friends, and let me get personal now.
Wow. Okay.
Agnes, have you had an experience with fake friends?
I have, and I've also been a fake friend. Yeah, people have been a fake friend. Like,
You want
yeah, I think for you to get past it, you have to accept that you have fallen in that aspect. And yeah, as I was saying, sometimes you can't blame our fake friends, because if you have never known true friendship, you can never really tell if you
Very true.
you're fake or you're true. Which takes me back to primary school. I used to have like different friends for different needs. So I had like a friend who'd buy me break. Yeah. If you're watching me, I'm sorry. And then I had a friend who would bring me lunch. And there was the friend who, like, when there's a problem with studies, like there's that person, and then there was the one I'd walk home with. Yeah, so I never really took them seriously. I only took them seriously at the time I needed them. Like when I was hungry at break time, I don't even remember her name. that's like the saddest part. She bought me break for like a whole year. And wow. So I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. She was like, oh, let's go buy break, and she'd buy me break, and yeah, we'd go to class, and then I'd leave her, go sit next to the person who would get me lunch, and yeah, just interchanging them, and that has affected me a lot. By the way, I'm still learning, but it has affected how I view friendship, and it took a lot of friendships, good friends leaving, for me to realize that I had to change. Because when things got tough, I'd say, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't. I just pack my things and go. And I was the fake friend. Like, I couldn't say they were the fake friends. It's because I couldn't take the pressure that came with friendship, because I didn't know what friendship was. Yeah, so...
Wow, and I think this pretty much relates on how we, especially, I want to borrow it and paste it on relationships. You know,
It does.
Pretty much, you know.
So
and
much.
it's sad that, you know, we would, man. Let me just end it to how she said it. As much as it affected her, that is in friendship, think about it in a relationship. You know, let us be considerate. Be really the self. Hopkins, have you had an experience with fake friends?
That's also another good question. Except in the exam room, where someone calls you and tells you, number two. And then after that, they don't even remember your name. You know, like, I just helped you. But it's okay. Please don't do that in the exam room. It's wrong.
I do not say that you encouraged you. I said it's wrong. Don't do it. I believe
wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I was just giving a friend's experience, not like and for me, I don't know whether it's my personality type or something, but then for me, I do not allow people in so easily, and so like for me, expectations and everything, it's hard for me to like have them. For me, I have brothers and then friends.
Wow.
Hey. And what about sisters?
Where's the sisters one now?
So like we have brothers. The sisters one will talk about it another day.
Another episode.
So I have brothers, and I thank God they have been faithful like throughout till this moment.
Nice.
And then friends, because it's hard for me to allow you in and like tell you stuff and like share with you some personal details. Yeah. So when you get to that point, know that you've tried.
And I think also it's prudent to notice that you did not get there because of choice.
Yeah.
It was out of a particular experience that you had, now that you have to be like that because you are more of protecting what is in. And I think this clearly tells of how much people can be broken. You know, because it's not that he woke up one day and decided to be like that.
True.
Yeah.
It's out of an experience that he had, and I would, if it were anything, I would encourage you, my friend who's watching right now, do not make somebody go through such an experience, because it's not really, doesn't feel really nice that you have a lot that is going through and you can't share it. It hurts, you know, it hurts, and sometimes it gets through even to depression, even feelings of loneliness, and sometimes even suicide, you know. So do not be an influencer. If anything, be a solution to that person's life.
Sure.
Priska, have you had an experience with fake friends?
Hey, my friend.
Okay.
I remember when I was going through this journey. Okay, I've been unwell for a while. So during this journey, I had friends. Apparently, the first time when I went seeing a doctor, it was a psychiatrist. So I told one of my friends. The person was like, hey, if you're going to see a psychiatrist from today, henceforth, no more friendship.
Seriously.
Okay.
I was like, okay. So a few months went. Another one said, you see the way your character is like this, 1, 2, 3. You need psychiatric attention. I can't deal with you. And
now, for the sake of the viewers watching, what was this journey? What was this, you know?
I went through depression. Yeah, and so I had to go through the healing process. As I went through the healing process is when I discovered who my inner circle of friends were and who are my fake friends. And I discovered who I became fake to. Yeah, so
Yeah.
as time went by, I had a lot of friends. I was a people's person, could talk to a lot of people. People knew me, people knew my character.
I mean, you are a student leader at the Kenyatta University of
Yeah,
Kenya.
and so for 2 academic years, so I had a following. But at the end of the day, the people that stood by me, and I think this should be another pointer, family stood by me. Family should be your best friends, regardless of the problems that we go through with family. There are domains there, down there. But regardless of whatever that we go through with family, they stand by you during such hard times. Plus, my best friend stood for me. And by the way, she isn't an Adventist, but she stood for me during that time. I would have my own tantrums, but she would be there saying, it is well. So we still have good friends, and we still have those fake friends. And at the end of the day, during any problem, especially like mine was a mental issue, it's when you know who my true friends were. Yeah.
I mean, somebody will sit and say, probably yours was just a 2-day event. Was it a 2-day event?
No. My journey is over 3.5 years now.
How long did you think for somebody to have that clear mental picture of what really you were going through?
It took a lot. It took time. I lost jobs. Not 1, not 2. But I lost jobs during that time without knowing what I was going through. But this one friend, I think I'll mention her name. She's called Aska David. Aska stood by me during all this period. And I knew the true character of a good friend from her.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, there are friends who stick closer than a brother. You know.
But family still remains.
Yes.
Family still remains.
Very true. And I think there's something focal that you're trying to emphasize, that the importance of family.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we're talking about fake friends, nobody can replace family.
Yeah, sure.
They'll be with you. I mean, if there's somebody who's been with you through everything, think about your mom who wiped you when you were. And right now, we as young guys, we're like, no, my mom, you know. Think about it like that, you know. And let's think about our fathers. Because sometimes we have gone through a rampage of forgetting our fathers. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not trying to defend men in any way. Please don't. But this is more of an observation. If it's a Women's Day, hey, a lot of gifts will be given to our mothers. But when it gets to Father's Day, perhaps only receive messages. I love you. Happy Father's Day. Aren't you sometimes fake to our parents? Fake to our family? Aren't you sometimes fake?
We are.
It is a challenge.
Agnes?
Yes.
Aren't you?
You know, like when we're younger, we are so close to our parents. You know, anything happens to you in school, someone takes your lunch and they're like, mommy or daddy. And you know, when they come to pick you from school, you're like, so and so did this. But as you grow up and get friends, we sort of, you know, just push them to the back, because we feel as though, as I said last time, they're like born in the dark ages. They don't understand, and we replace them with our friends. Like,
amazing.
if I have, if I get heartbroken, the first person I'd tell would be my friend. Obviously, I wouldn't have the stamina to, you know, like go and sit down with my mom and be like, you know what, mom, so I've been heartbroken. She's like, how old are you? What do you know about heartbreak? And or if I go and tell, like, there's a time I was depressed, and it's only my friends who knew about it. My parents did know. Like, if you guys ever watch this, just know I was depressed. Like, how do I go and tell my dad? Dad, you know what, I'm depressed. He pays my school fees, the rent at home, the rent at school, as in, he literally does everything. So I guess we as young people feel as though they don't understand, but believe me, they do.
Yeah,
they
they
do.
do.
They have our interests at heart, and there's nothing that pains them as much as seeing their children suffer, and they can't do anything about it. They just like God says, just come unto me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Just the same way when we approach our parents, most parents, in all honesty, will want to see us happy because they've sacrificed so much for us. So why would they make us suffer? They wouldn't. Yeah, so I think I personally have been fake to my parents and my family to some extent, but I guess we're learning here. It's a growing process.
It's a learning process
Yes.
for all of us.
Yes.
You know, and I think to whoever is watching right now, this should be more of a call for us to have an introspection. You should, in fact, ask yourself: are you a good friend, a fake friend, or a toxic one?
Yes.
You should live up to a life that you desire to be treated as similar. You know, there's no you'd want a good friend, yet on the other end, you're the fake one.
You're the toxic
You're
one.
the toxic one, even
Yeah.
once. You know, you're the toxic one. So let us think about. Let us be true to ourselves again. Let's be true to ourselves. And if you're a fake friend, be true to yourself. Let us not keep on lying to each other, because you only live once if you live it right, and you only live it right when you're living it in Christ. Let us not. In fact, let me just wind up with what you said. Let us have circles of friends. Not saying that circles are bad, but then let's use them wisely, because those people will influence our character, and that is the one thing we'd want to guard with our lives. Thank you for being with us in this discussion. It has been The Identity. Until next time, be blessed and stay safe.
In the new fun way, the gospel highway leading to the home eternal. Walk and talk with the master every day. While the storms beat tide, he safely guides me, while the blessings fall supernal. Walk and talk in the new Jerusalem way. Walk and talk, new Jerusalem way. Press along, land of everlasting day. Then at last, 'tis well done. I shall hear the master say, walk and talk in the new Jerusalem way. Hallelujah, praise him, I am happy, walking on this gospel highway. Walk and talk with the master every day. Like the gentle vespers, Jesus whispers blessings all along the highway. Walk and talk everlasting day. Then at last, 'tis well done. I shall see the Master say, walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way.
Where to hear my cling, I'll ever sing and tell about the gospel story. I'll walk and talk with the Master every day.
Then forevermore I shall adore him, over in the land of glory. I walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way.
Walk and talk, New Jerusalem way. Press along, land of everlasting day. Then at last, 'tis well done. I shall see the Master say, walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way. Walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way. Press along, land of everlasting day. Then at last, 'tis well done. I shall hear the Master say, walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way. Walk and talk, New Jerusalem way. Press along, land of everlasting day. Then at last, 'tis well done. I shall hear the Master say, walk and talk in the New Jerusalem way. Onge ohala madhano yudo koketo ngimane kuom pinyni. Duto mag pinyni rumo kendo kalo mana kaya moya ye owadwa. Onge ohala madhano yudo koketo ngimane kuom pinyni. Duto mag pinyni rumo kendo kalo mana kaya moya ye owadwa. Yaye owadwa lokri. Yesu nondikendo omi lokri iyae richo. Yaye owadwa lokri. Yesu nondikendo omi lokri iyae richo. Umbe malwenje magoe ohala mag pinyni. Ruodhwa Yesu longi kendo podo omi. Yae lokri, yae richo. Tho koda tuoche